into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh yeah, the classic theme tonight.
That's
Phil.
right. Because
I love it.
the best things in life are free. So is my advice, at least on this show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shark Tank After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
What is shaking?
That's right. I am your host, Phil Svitek. Steph Z is doing a gig. She's making the money, honey.
She's making it happen out there.
That is the voice of Cameron Lewis.
Hey everybody, Cameron Lewis at the Only Camshaft on Twitter and Instagram.
That's right. And we killed the music. Why did we kill it?
We killed it. It's okay.
killed it.
It's okay. We
Cameron
can still
Lewis
keep the
killed the
mood.
music.
We can still keep the mood going.
And we have Guy David.
Yeah, back for a second week.
That's
and
right.
Watched all your shows, man. I'm impressed. I'm a little
well, thank
intimidated
you.
working with you.
Oh,
Just
God,
a bit
please.
close. A little intimidated.
I don't have the accent though. That's intimidating to me.
Man, the accent's good on radio when people don't get to see my face. When people get to see my face on this, it doesn't work as well, you know? That's what I've worked out. Being Twitter, Guy and a Girl Show. Hit me up.
Well, there you have it. So, in addition to talking about Shark Tank, we'll of course talk about Beyond the Tank. So lots and lots to discuss, certainly. Let's get right into it. Zoom Interiors, an interior design company with free online consultation, led by the three lovely ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking ladies, too.
I tell you, I would trust him with my apartment. But I don't know. It kind of made me feel bad about myself watching this pitch.
Why is that?
Because I have a bunch of white walls in my place, and maybe I'll hit them up for their services. I don't know.
Okay, let's before we even dive into them, let me give you some words of advice for. This is for Cameron, and maybe Guy, but also hopefully some of the listeners out there as well.
Okay.
If you're someone in your 20s, right? Don't spend all your money on an apartment or anything like that. Your whole goal is to be working. That's what you should be doing. So if you're spending a lot of time in your apartment, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say it, but I want to say you're a loser. Get out of your apartment. No. But here's the thing, right? And maybe it's the culture of which like Hollywood is more of, because as an actor or whatever, you want to be auditioning, things like that. So the more time you're spending at home, unless maybe you're a writer, you don't want to be doing that. Get out.
What happens if you're like 25, 26 years old, you're going out, you want to bring a girl home, you want to impress someone, you want your apartment looks good, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to give you advice on that too, right? Guess what? You got to know where you're going. I could, on the East Coast, right? A lot of people like live in the basements of their mom's parents. Perfectly fine. People look down upon that, but you can spin it to your advantage. Like, hey, listen, I don't got to pay rent. I don't got to do this. Now, that doesn't mean, you also got to help out your family. You can't just be like a moocher. Trust me, I've met a lot of those people. But you could spin it like, hey, if you're a girl and you don't see my vision, my path, and you think down upon me because of that, then you're not someone I want to be with. Get out.
So your point is that they should be attracted to the drive.
Yes.
Not the, okay.
All
right.
And Cameron
we're living in LA, that doesn't happen. Girls
That's what I'm
pretentious.
saying.
They're pretentious.
Yeah.
They want a classy looking
listen,
apartment.
my apartment looks like IKEA came and took a dump in it. So that's what
Same with me, man.
Third and final piece of advice, and this is more unfortunately to guys, and I'm gonna get so much heat for this right off the bat. Honestly, guys, it just gets better with age. It's ridiculous. I'm serious, right? You could be 40, 50,
Are you 50?
60. I'm not 50, but I'm just telling you. I look at my mentors in their lives, and they're laughing because they're like 40-year-old dudes hanging out with 18, 21-year-olds, and like if that's the thing that you want, then fine.
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know. Okay. Well,
I'm just Hollywood's typical asshole.
The thing.
So there you have it. Anyway,
his words.
Interior design.
The Zoom Interiors. My biggest issue with this one was I would feel nervous about getting a design over the internet without seeing the stuff first. I'm always apprehensive about buying things like that, even buying clothes online.
And online
not being
is
able
the
to
way
see
to
it.
go. Is what the world's going towards
I know.
these days. But
I
I'm still
know.
apprehensive. I'm still with you. I don't.
Right.
I want my shirt to fit me. You know, I want to try it on. I want to see the stuff.
I get what you're saying. I mean, it's very tough. Like even fourth piece of advice: when you buy a house,
He's on fire.
here's the thing.
4.
I would buy the best houses to buy are ones that look like absolute garbage because you can get it on the cheap,
Sure.
you can flip it, and so on and so forth. But many people, even despite like they lack the vision to see what it could be rather than what it is. And so I feel like that is a big thing, especially like if online, if you can't see the apartment or whatever it is that you're redesigning, it just makes it difficult. You can maybe see a drawing, but it's not going to give you the full picture.
It's an education session for me today. But there is the convenient aspect too of doing online. And do you know, I actually think I'd probably use them. They did one white wall. They turned into a pretty cool room.
Yeah.
With one of the guys, and it's just easy. It's convenient. It's not that expensive.
That expensive,
I'd probably use it. I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it, and Mr. Wonderful had that whole thing about the 15-minute consultation. I think that's you. I know
I
so
crave
many,
that.
Me too.
So many businesses I feel like do that. That's like the part of the whole hook.
Yeah, no, I completely crave that. If somebody talked to me on the phone for 15 minutes, I'd be like, here, take my checkbook. Take it.
You feel more reliable that way. I
Yeah.
mean, I've trying to get visas and everything for years, and I always go to lawyers that don't charge me for the consultation, and then I go with them. I hate the people that charge for the consultation all the time. That draws me away from the business. So I think Mr. Wonderful hated it, but I thought it was quite a good little thing they were doing. It wasn't 15 minutes. Who cares?
I agree. I'm down with it. Yeah. Did they study? Did any of these girls study design? Did they ever say that? Because that was...
They didn't ask them their like background except for like college and that they started in college.
The only thing that
forth.
I could see somebody being apprehensive about would be you're kind of accepting the fact that they're professional designers. Do you know what I mean? And I guess that kind of comes with taste and it comes over time and not necessarily with education, but...
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You can't necessarily... They're going to have the taste... You know, their style is going to be their style, and part of it is you have to be able to diversify as much as possible, right?
Right.
If you want a medieval castle in your house,
That does sound pretty good.
They better be able to deliver that. But the real knowledge isn't necessarily in the design. It's the tips and tricks to get it for cheap.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good deal for people buying it, but the girls, how are they making money? They charged $150 and then they buy the furniture. It's pretty much selling the furniture. Is that how they're making their money? I didn't quite get it.
I think they get a percentage from the vendors that they frequent with the furniture and stuff, as far as I can tell. The 150, which I guess is the initial setup fee for the relationship, is what that sounded like, right?
And that's for them coming and installing all the stuff? Just $150? What's that for?
That I don't know about. I think
It's a further consultation. It's like, okay, we've worked this out. Now we got to get into
that's
specifics.
where they go, hey, okay, what are the measurements of your room? Okay, what kind of space are you looking for? Where are your windows at? And I actually think they hammer out the specifics in that. And then the furniture sale has to be $1,000 or more. And then once all that gets figured out, they send you your stuff. You have a blueprint that they send you, and you kind of self-set it up, from what I could tell. Which again, $1,000 is not that expensive to have somebody design your space. So I don't think that's unfair that you have to set it up yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think in time it will scale to other revenue streams.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now it's sort of basic.
They almost lost it with everybody. They definitely lost it with Mark when they said, we're really young. That's why we
I
can't.
didn't like that at all.
No.
Mark's in a bad mood tonight.
He kind of did seem
he
like...
let loose at the first two pitches.
Yeah.
Like, really let loose at them. And he didn't like that comment. I mean, just the whole... It's an excuse. We're young, he considered it as. Just don't give me that. I'm an investor. I don't want to hear that. You know?
Right.
I don't know if you and I talked about this last episode, but this is, to be fair, as I enter this world more and more of, this is actually one of the more tamer things I've ever seen. Like in terms
From
of...
Mark.
What do you mean?
just in terms of investors. Like, even as bad as you think Mr. Wonderful has been is, this is... The tank is actually very tame for what an investor meeting could be.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not experienced enough.
I have no experience in it, and I can completely understand that, I think, or expect that. Even when, we'll talk about it later in the Beyond the Tank, and obviously they know they're on camera. But even in that, when they were having some potentially really difficult discussions, it was like, they're being very fair and polite, and they just hugged after, and that would never happen. And now they're gonna probably go have dinner and things, and yeah. So anyhow, they ended up getting a deal with Barbara though.
Yeah,
Barbara.
It was interesting.
$100K for 33%. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I thought it was more than fair. I thought their asking price, they came in at a good asking price regardless. You know, were they going to get that? No, but it wasn't like that for a 3.4%.
Here we go again.
This is an $800 billion a year industry, and we're going to hammer it out. Next year, our projected sales are $150 million. Oh, my God.
I would have jumped at that. They did the right thing.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Good deal. Fair deal.
And Barbara's a great mentor.
Yeah, hands on, Barbara.
Yeah, which, by the way, when we talk about Beyond the Tank, Barbara has a really cool sense of style.
So many things about Barbara that I'm just continually and exponentially loving.
You know what she doesn't love? Sunscreen mist. Oh, man.
I didn't like this either, to be honest.
This is one of those things.
What was the breakdown the numbers?
All right, let's get the numbers. The sunscreen mist, $400K for 15% is what they were seeking. Let me break down what these things cost really quick, just so we can talk about that. There's 3 different options. There's a little station. Now there's a 1 spray station, a 2 spray station, and then there's the big booth that they had that woman step inside and spray, and that was a weird thing that they had happen. But the 1 spray station is $69.90, so $6,990 retail to make, $14,000 that they sell it for, $8,490 to make on the 2 spray, $17,000 is what they sell it for. What is it, $1,200? Or no, what is that? $12,000 is for the booth, and they sell it at like $35,000.
I don't know what costs so much to make this
Right,
thing.
it's like a hose with copper tone on the other side.
I actually
right?
paused the TV and rewound that back because I didn't believe I heard the numbers right. You know when you're just not
Right.
sure you heard something? Because how?
And
Oh,
this is one
how?
of those things where it's a business that nobody, and Kevin said this, but nobody really had a problem with sunscreen. Like the problem people had with sunscreen is it's icky and it kind of takes time to apply. And then they came out with the aerosol spray sunscreen, and that fixed that problem. I don't think it needs to be fixed beyond that.
And they did say, here's the thing, they did say like skin cancer is on the rise. And I understand that, but that doesn't mean it's because people are misapplying it. They're either applying it or choose not to apply it.
Right.
So it's, now you're running in a weird middle track that has nothing to do with either.
And I don't see hotels, especially high-end hotels, saying, hey, yeah, we'll put this booth on our nicely designed, probably by the girls who were from Zoom Interiors, this nicely designed pool deck area that we have, put this obnoxious-looking photo booth thing that sprays liquids on you.
Honestly, you guys are going to laugh at this.
Did you install one of these?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. If you're a hotel chain and you're going to weigh out the cost of anything, I'd rather have my pool girls, go out and offer, hey, do you want suntan lotion on you?
Very valid point.
Why am I laughing at that?
I don't know. Because
And
it's
I
like
can tell you this, it's probably a lot cheaper than $35,000.
But part of the whole
And it's a
incentive,
hot girl.
it's
And
a hot
yeah.
girl, and you get them like, hey, would you, we have this special cocktail you want to order.
Right.
Also, we have this. Are you going to the show later? Like, you give them a whole speech to sell me on.
That's actually a
Yes.
better pitch right there. I'd buy
you
into
should've-
that.
Can we cut that part out of this broadcast? Because we need to pitch that ourselves.
Because, as you were saying, no one has a problem with sunscreen. I had a problem with it when I used to play tennis full time, and when I rubbed it in, it slipped when I was trying to, my hands would slip.
Sure.
So it drove me nuts. But then they came out with the spray.
Yeah.
So I just sprayed myself. So that problem was fixed. And now I don't have a problem at all.
Right.
I would never use this thing. I would
Yeah.
never pay $5 to step in a booth and look like an idiot.
Yeah, and I don't want to spray the crap out of my hair. I don't want to.
I mean, here's the thing. They equate it to an ATM machine, and no offense, they're just ATM machines that, like, charge you for money. It just feels like a scam.
Oh, yeah.
So it fell into the scam territory, and, whether or not I don't know. It just, for me, that's the instinct I have for it, and therefore I dislike it.
So their best bet was probably a licensing deal, I guess. Royalty deal. Was that even an option?
Probably, if anything, yeah.
Yeah, they just...
Or
what do they
making
need
a
the money?
machine that doesn't cost 12 grand. Like that, if they had a couple $100 option, I could see it maybe be a thing where there's little hoses and you put like $1 in and crank it and then you spray yourself. That I can kind of see.
Yeah, cost for this needs to, like, if you're gonna have this on every beach in America and at resorts, you gotta drive this. No one's
Yeah.
paying for this.
It's ridiculous.
Yep, I'm not paying.
We're gonna, if this is really that big a problem, every hotel in America is gonna put up a sign. Please put on sunscreen, and that sign will cost $20.
That's, I mean,
Not 20, not 35,000.
I liked the other thing that you pitched.
Darn
Did you just do that on the fly? Or did you think about
I
that
did.
earlier?
I did.
That was good. I've got the vision, me lying in the Vegas pool and a hot girl coming up to me offering me sunscreen and a cocktail.
Phil, I'll offer you $400 for 45%.
I'm sold.
Okay,
And that
we'll
you-
make the deal off the air.
There you go. Here's the thing. I mean, to that effect, I feel like I come up with pretty good stuff on the fly. The problem is I have no execution of any of these ideas. So therein lies the problem. I can have all good ideas all day, but if I don't have execution, it doesn't count to
I hear you.
crap. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, I think that was that was my thoughts on that one.
Do we know why it costs so much to make? Did they ever say
No,
that?
they never said it, and it's weird that they never really asked, too.
maybe they did. The biggest point of contention was that it didn't get her stomach. I mean, I would have right off the bat, like, hey, go feel her belly or something.
Something,
like,
yeah.
whatever the thing's got to be to prove it. It just didn't work for everybody, and everyone was out.
Yeah, that's also, I would imagine, a hard thing to test. Like, it got every area on your body with 100% accuracy. I don't.
Couldn't we do like a let's take the fake cadaver.
Yeah.
Let's put two and
Oh man.
You're on fire tonight.
Speaking of that, Sindaver Labs.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They said like that the cadaver had more personality than him. I thought this honestly could have been the best pitch in Shark Tank history.
Me too. I'm with you.
You know,
He was such a scientist. He was such a PhD, well-educated guy that he just spoke in that robotic, monotoned, almost put you to sleep way. But
It's so sweaty. So sweaty. Oh my god.
everyone was.
Oh my god.
and that was the weird thing about it, 'cause he was speaking so calmly, but then he's got pouring sweat coming down. He was getting the towel out.
It is a funny thing. I feel like I'd be right there with them though. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a good thing. And I just, it's totally fine. I'm calm, but drenched.
He probably could have got in a bidding war. All the Sharks could have if he pitched it properly. I mean, he just killed it when he said, I don't care about the money. It's about helping people or helping animals or whatever he said.
Yeah.
I was like, don't say that. Just screaming at the TV, you know?
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't want to say it, but you also kind of want to just high five him when he does. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like he knew he was going to get a deal. The product is absolutely fantastic. I think there was a better way to word it. You know, like, hey, I didn't get into this for the financial gain of things, but I understand that this is a business, and in order for me to achieve certain goals
Sure.
of the business, that I have to bring in a certain amount of capital and revenue, and you know what? If that's a motivating factor, I understand that's beyond me, and I will
Right.
deliver that to whoever steps into this business.
Right.
So he wants to pretty much get this into all medical schools. It's for people to practice surgery on. Is that
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
and the
it's-
thing about it that's cool is it's reusable.
Yeah.
And so I assume that anytime you do the surgery on it, you either kind of put things back into place, or each piece that you remove is you could purchase and put it back in or something like that, but you're not going through a bunch of different bodies and having to dispose of them after, which is
This could be ginormous, I feel like.
Yeah.
I can see it in every medical school worldwide, in every hospital. If it's
I could see this in high schools. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
anatomy classes, just everything.
Yeah.
I think Robert saw that too
he did.
in the end. But yeah, I think Robert got a good deal there. Does anyone else?
I thought he got a good deal. I mean, I can see this taking a while because I think you do have to teach this product a little bit in terms of yeah, it's a good idea in theory that this is a synthetic cadaver, but some people might actually need to see it and dive into it and actually try things out before they buy into it. So I think it'll be a little while before it really takes off, but I think once it does take off, it's going to take off in the right way.
And Robert said, first thing I'm doing, getting a CEO. I'm keeping him away from the business.
Right.
Just stay away. Just do your thing. But Robert's been splashing out some cash just quietly. Splashed out $5 million last week.
Yeah,
3 million this week. He's
3
$8
million
million
to
deep.
25, yeah.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, here's the thing: you can find a CEO for that business quite easily.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know? And
Are you volunteering, Phil?
I wouldn't be a good CEO in that regard. First off, I don't think I am a CEO. I
Sure.
think it'll take me a few years before I can be a CEO.
Uh-huh.
And certainly not for this business, not yet. You know, I wouldn't know the right areas to get into.
You sounded like Robert right there. I think you got what it takes. I'm telling you.
Fair enough. Well, you kick ass
All right.
personalized action figures.
All right. So this one, 100,000 for 10%. That's what they were going in there seeking.
Do they look like you or do they not look like you?
I thought they did not.
No.
Nothing. I couldn't. I
Not
was
at
looking
all.
at them and thinking, who is that one of the sharks? Apart from Kevin, who's bald, I couldn't pick the rest, who they
And
were.
the faces look really blurry and discolored, like faded. And the eyes are just, I don't know. They look like soulless people. In a
Soulless.
way, I see how the appeal is there, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been several products that we've seen in Shark Tank. More recently, I forget the name, but the one where you can get creative or stuffed animals created
Yeah, that was like
for
3 or 4
yourself
weeks
or
ago.
for dead people or whatever.
Deadsies.
Deadsies. Budsies, that was an name of it. Oh my goodness. But, and this is definitely a growing thing. I mean, custom phone cases, custom this, custom that. But I completely agree with Barbara's every point, which was the face doesn't really look like them. It's kind of blurry. The neckline really bothers me. And the skin color was noticeably different too. So I don't think they're quite there with the product. But, and it also seems kind of weird to me. They said that their target or their consumer base is somewhere in the 30s and 40s, which I found odd.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it is odd, but it's not their fault. That's
No.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it just seemed odd. And that when they first introduced the business with the name You Kick Ass, I was like, an action figure business called You Kick Ass for kids? I don't think that'll work. But apparently it's not for kids. So.
I was surprised the rest of the sharks didn't agree with Barbara. I thought they were all going to jump in on this, but they all sort of liked it. And then Robert, vehemently disagreed with Barbara. And I'm like, she's right. The neckline, there's something wrong there. It looked disconnected.
And it doesn't look like, I mean, it really doesn't.
But I think it's a great idea. I mean, if I got one of these in a Superman costume with my head on, I'd go, hell yeah. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got to look like me.
Would
I
you
can't
pay-
go around showing it off if it doesn't look like me.
Would you pay $60 for it? Or would you want that to come down too?
I'd want someone to give it to me as a gift. I wouldn't pay it, though.
I think $60 is more than fair.
I think
You think?
that's about right.
For again, it would have to have all those qualities.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, like I said, it's a great idea, and I think they're on the right track, but I just don't think that they're there in terms of getting it to the... But maybe that's why they came in the tank. They want somebody to take them to that level.
Were you surprised how many people offered them a deal?
I kind of was.
Did every shark? No.
Not
Nearly
every
everyone.
shark, but there was three.
Robert and Mark and
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
So the guys. Here's the thing. The ultimate deal, the way I look at it, is that Mark, right? It was Mark.
Yeah.
He got himself 2 fantastic women, 2 very smart women, for $100,000.
That's how you're looking at
Yeah.
it?
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about it. It's 50, like, on a salary basis, that's $50,000 each for a year. That's a steal for these women.
Sure.
Like, with their knowledge, forget it.
Yeah, I mean, the other aspect of it that was interesting was this software that they kept talking about, which I can definitely see a place for with the growing of 3D printers and all that. And obviously that was a big interest for Mark in the investment. I think it was a good choice. I think that they were great. I'm just surprised. I'm kind of surprised that they got a deal, given where their product is at. But I'm all for it.
But again, they were bought. If nothing else, I look at Robert and specifically Mark. I don't know why Kevin is Kevin. So they were buying a relationship, not the product.
Yeah.
This was a no-brainer. 100K, 10% Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
You take that.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is perfected right, if Mark can get this on track, this could be very good.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's some competitors out there, but this is Mark Cuban they're with now because they've been on the tank. They can, get rid of these competitors right now. But
Put your head on a Mavs jersey or something.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to have it at every Mavs game.
Yeah.
So this was a no-brainer. I'm surprised they got what they wanted, but good on them, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm all for it. You kick ass!
All right. Speaking of kicking ass, you kick ass on the potty, the squatty potty.
That squatty potty.
I mean, I didn't realize how. I mean, they did say this was going to be huge, and it is.
But
huge.
holy crap! I mean, I kind of thought exactly. I kind of thought that people would see this as, it's just a step stool. I could just go get a step stool. But clearly that's not the case. 3 months after Shark Tank, they had $12.3 million in sales. That's insane. 2 days after their episode, they had $1 million in sales.
Speechless. I'm not going to talk anymore. Speechless.
For a poop stool. It's amazing.
What is it? It straightens your back or you...
Here's the thing. There is a science to it. Like, the whole... paleo was last week, right? And so people are trying to get back into that. So if you kind of follow that theory of cavemen, we used to poop squatting.
Right.
And that's our natural pooping position.
Good point.
So the fact that we're sitting now, it's different in that way. And so it crunches up our stomach and it doesn't allow the poo. We're getting all scientific. Bring me a cadaver.
Science states that there's not a great flow.
Yes.
And this is... scholars maintain this is the way to fix it.
That's right.
There it is.
And they made this thing that you can just use
it lifts
you
your
can get
legs.
a step and just use it, or lift your
But
legs.
it's at the perfect height.
Yeah.
The perfect
But
squatty potty height.
I mean, these numbers are phenomenal.
Ridiculous. I mean, insane. And somehow, Lori is always the one with these products that just blow up at Bed Bath & Beyond. The Scrub Daddy, the Reader Rest, all of those things.
I mean, part of it is, I don't know, and I hope this doesn't sound terrible in any sort of way. Like, Lori likes those products that she know are going to make money and she can do kind of a quick turnaround. Whereas, like, I feel like Mark, Robert, they want something that they can build and invest in. And, that's when Mark...
Something that's new and,
Yeah, remember when Mark and Lori had their whole tiff of, like, what do you know about building a brand and building a thing?
Yeah.
She's like, I build many brands. And I'm not saying she doesn't. I just feel like two very different things.
True.
In terms of what they want to do and build and invest in.
I'm just going to say once, this was $12 million in 3 months. Am I right?
3 months.
3 months.
Phenomenal.
3 months after their episode aired, $12.3 million.
Just get your sunscreen on. You're on Shark Tank.
Insane.
Do something. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's insane. Now, if they combine Squatty Potty with the sunscreen thing, that might be a business.
Like I can get suntan
while you're squatty pottying.
Yeah,
yeah.
There you go.
One-stop shop. You can have it.
One-stop shop.
You can have it all.
That's right. All right. Beyond the Tank. Oh man, second episode. Good episode.
Enjoyed this one more.
I did too.
Yeah.
Although I was a fan of the barbecue last week. Made me really hungry for some ribs. I could go for some right now. I was surprised at the businesses we saw in this week's episode, though, because they were seemingly already successful businesses, ostensibly. But we started with Red Dress Boutique, who got an investment from Mark and Robert in the Tank for $1.2 million, 20%.
What did you guys think? Should they website?
Oh man.
No?
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
It was
adamant
very
on getting a new website.
Yeah. Now see, I went into that discussion that they had with Mark thinking I kind of agree with them because, the pieces aren't there. If you don't have a good website, then it's going to stop traffic. But the more Mark talked about, hey, You have a website that works for the most part. We can fix what we can fix. We can make it better, but it really doesn't matter because your sales and your numbers are increasingly getting better, exponentially getting better. So why change that flow until you absolutely have to? I was like, I think I agreed with him.
And he said, he said, you know, tell me where in the past 6 months, with a few minor details, I haven't delivered what I said I would.
Right.
It's one thing, you know, like when you have an agent or a manager and you're like, come on, you haven't gotten me, you know, we've been working together for 2 years. You haven't brought me anything. Like, time to end this. He delivered.
I don't know why they were so insistent upon this new website. The key to the
I don't know.
website is it going to crash? Or does it have enough servers to stop it crashing?
Right.
And it had not crashed recently since they'd upgraded it. Why do you need to get a whole new website and spend that sort of money when you're that successful? It's a huge...
And like he said, you're not just like changing the way it looks. You're replacing everything. Everything. So all this work to improve the site you've had, you're going to have with the new site like 20 times over because that site's going to have problems when you launch it.
You know, this cut very deeply because I'm in the midst of relaunching all our websites.
Oh,
Tell us your thoughts.
It just cut deeply. It was like, am I doing the right thing? Because part of it, you know, but the unfortunate part is that theirs is a very kind of singular path where, you know, there's models to build off of. And for me, I've always looked at everything that there's never been a model for what we do. And so I have to create the models. And I've always done it on a very shoestring budget.
sure.
And so I'm in the midst of a website redesign that hopefully everyone likes. But the idea is that it's going to be much easier to find shows. It's going to be much more custom based. It'll have streaming 24 hours a day, even though we don't necessarily have a program that we put out every single hour of the hour. And all these things. And I really thought about it in that way of how to really redesign the user experience. I don't know. I'd love to get a 15-minute consultation from Mark to tell me that I'm insane or not on this one. It really hit home.
No, but what you said I think makes sense. You are kind of creating the model, whereas this already has kind of a model to fit it. And I think it would be different if Mark said to them, "Hey, you know that outfit that you put out last week? I don't know. I'm not sure if that pattern went with those shoes." And he doesn't. That's not the world he knows. But this is the world he knows. This is the experience he has. So why wouldn't you listen to this part?
Yeah.
You know, don't listen to him on the dresses. Listen to him on
Their
this.
whole conversation was based on that.
Yeah.
Should we get a new website or not?
Right.
And just a few numbers. My fiance has an online boutique very similar to this without the same amount of sales. So similar that we actually buy from the same vendor and have exactly the same product as they do.
Oh, wow.
We're selling the same shirts. And I'm hugely impressed because the number of sales they're getting and how they've driven social media, because I've been through it all and been through getting a new website, and it was a mistake we made because it cost a lot. We had problems with it. So I sort of felt like I've been through this on a much lesser scale.
Yeah.
So I was with Mark from the start. I was telling him, like, I've been through these problems. Just, you're doing so well. Keep it. It's not crashing.
Right.
Because it's a pain in the ass getting a whole new site, getting it done. Probably not for them because they have Mark Cuban, they have a bit more money, obviously.
Right.
But still, I just didn't see why they needed to.
But you're not reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? That like as you said, the only reason why money should be going into anything with the website is security reasons and to make it more robust in the sense of like you need more CDN entry points. Talk to me. Red Dress, I'll hook you up with Akamai right now. Let's go.
You're pushing it right now, are you?
We'll get him on the phone right now. We'll cut you a deal.
The thing that I think upset me about this one is that we didn't find out what happened.
Here's the thing.
I want to know.
We didn't, did we?
Here's the thing. I believe that they did. Well, first off, they signed the contract.
Right.
And I can't know for sure, but if you go to their website, I wasn't there before, but from the feel and looks of it, at the very least, they fixed the various things. Because one of the things that they talked about was, you know, if you choose a certain size and whatever else, it won't tell you whether or not it's available.
Right.
They fixed that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the new redesign or just a fix, but they've done that.
Right.
So, but from my experience, as I understand it and as I experienced the website, it is a whole new redesign, and it looks successful. So I'm glad.
I am
Hopefully it worked
hoping
out.
that people learn from their mistake when they were on In the Tank first, because they reminded us again, and Beyond the Tank, that their website crashed the day after Shark Tank aired. That is no good. You should be,
be
riding
prepared.
on the coattails of Shark Tank. So hopefully people, especially that watch this season, I feel like we've heard that a few times of people saying, yeah, it was a really successful episode on Shark Tank, and then our website crashed because we got so many orders. I hope people take heed that is a potential problem.
So what do you think they should
Whenever
do?
you get, I think that you should boost up the website.
So what do you do?
You buy
I
it.
mean?
You buy the Phil. That's what you get. Phil. Is that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I wanted. No, I mean, I mean, because in terms of that, there's obviously a science to it, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how your website is structured, the only stuff that technically changes is each customer transaction,
Sure.
right? And so at that point, again, if you just localize entry points that go to your website that just traffic the individual data, then you could do it.
So when they were saying a whole new website, would that mean they have to go offline for a while or not?
Technically, you don't have to. I mean, the
No.
switchover is very minimal. Now, that's, again, best case scenario. Like, there's a way to do it without going down. But there are horror stories.
Yeah.
So I don't
where
know.
You lose
So what
a
have
lot
you
of
learned
stuff.
from this? Have you been persuaded anyway?
I mean, I'm going forward with mine, so I'm already very deep
I'm
into
intrigued now. You got me on the hook.
it. You'll see. Hopefully people like the new redesign. It's
When can we expect an update, Phil?
honestly, I've been trying to make it happen in a matter of weeks, but it looks like a month or so because I'm literally doing the stuff myself.
The question that's on everybody's lips at home: how big is the page featuring my face going to be?
It's gonna be the landing page. So before you even get to the home page,
All
it's
right.
the landing page.
Thank God.
Straight away.
That's
Your
what
show.
they wanted to know.
I know. It was a big point of contention. All right, so there you go. The Red Dress Boutique.
That's it.
They're doing well, so I don't think they've slowed down in any sort of way. And I hope I think that they did get the new redesign, and I think it's paying off well. So
Yeah, and a good
congratulations.
business. I've been a fan of them from the beginning, so I hope nothing but success for them.
Who's up next?
Up next is Rise Ruffery,
This
which
was interesting.
by the way, let me just say before we start, I still don't understand why they changed the name from
Copyright.
Ryan's Barkery.
Copyright and/or trademark. I forget which one. Trademark, I believe.
Because what's a ruffery? It's not. There's no. Anyways, they're making a lot of money, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. What did you think? Ryan's Ruffery.
I thought this was interesting because first off, it's dog food, so the space is so saturated to begin with. So
Yeah.
to find any success and obviously with a kid, I think they're doing it well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what much else I could say. You guys
Yeah.
start off, and then maybe I'll figure out something.
I'm with you. It's a saturated market, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to give them credit for their success. 'Cause
Absolutely.
how do you go about? Do you have a dog?
I don't.
How do you
Well,
go
I mean, I
about buying
used to.
dog food? Do you just pick the first thing off the shelf, or
Talk to
what?
the vet. The vet tells me what kind-ish they need, and then I go to the
there's-
shelf from there.
I mean, obviously, it depends on breed. It depends on height and various things.
Well, what makes a dog food stand out? Just
I think when it comes down to dog food, it's like what's in it. What can you say is in it that looks, even if it's nutritious or not nutritious, who's to know? But if it looks more nutritious for your dog, if it's better smelling, probably if it weighs less, people are gonna buy it. If it looks nice too.
I mean, these are snacks too, right? So
These are
a lot
snacks.
of times when you're training dogs, in my mind, you do it on a proper basis. You do it on a reward type basis.
Yeah.
And so after a while, a dog can get bored of a certain treat, but if they really, really love a treat, if they're going to do it for you no matter what after a certain point, right?
Right.
And like high rewards are when you can get them to recall. So if I let a dog loose, let's say in a park, and he comes back to me upon, hey, come here, then I would give him a really big reward because he knows that it was worth it to come back to me. And so you would put like a little hot dog or something like that. And so let's say if my dog was able to do that for this snack, then this is a great snack. And that's how I could test it.
What was it? Pavlov's?
Pavlov,
thing?
yeah.
The dog.
Pavlov's, the dog response, Pavlovian response. Yeah, 100%. But again, it needs to be a treat that they're 100% willing to go after. It can't just be like, oh, here's a carrot.
I think the biggest thing that one was at least supposed to get out of this update and Beyond the Tank was the whole story with the mom who's essentially running this business becoming overloaded, being a full-time mom, running the company by herself. And it was an interesting conversation that her and Barbara had. And I thought that was, I could see someone looking at that and thinking, okay, this is not going to go well because she's going to tell Barbara she's overloaded and things are going to be a disaster. But Barbara said, we'll hire somebody.
No.
You can afford to hire somebody. Hire somebody. Yeah. And that is ultimately going to benefit, as long as the person's not going to derail everything. That ultimately I think is going to benefit it,
Here's my worry is that the kid is going to abandon this eventually.
I think he will.
Can you make this your life? Like, if I'm looking at it, again, we're talking about dog treats, and there's something to be happy about if the business is going well, but how long do you want, like, I don't know, for me, I'd get bored of it.
Yeah.
I want to move on to something else.
He went through puberty, too, so there's going to be a change. And when he pitched, high voice. Update, Beyond the Tank, low voice.
Don't tell me
so things are going
that.
down.
Did you notice that?
I did notice that. Things are going down.
Yeah, I mean, but will he get bored of this? Do you guys, yay or nay?
I think he will.
He will for sure. It's a good point. You don't want to sell dog food and treats your whole life, especially when you start so young. You're going to get other ventures.
Does he go to college? Does he,
I think he goes to college, but I think when you're 15 and interested in anything, you're not going to be interested in it anymore when you get older. For the most part.
I don't think that's true, but it has to be, again, it has to kind of progress in different ways. I don't know. I mean, unless you really want to expand into a business of like creating a full dog treats and like dog products, then there's a way to do it. But if this is not of interest, if this like was just a thing that became more than you ever wished it would be in the best of ways, I don't know how much you stick with it and just say like, you know what, we made money out of this. Time to move on with all our lives.
If it keeps going well, I don't think he needs to go to college. If he loves it, he's making the money. He's learned so much.
I think if he's going to make it a thing, you don't go to college.
I agree.
Yeah, but I don't think that he will make it a thing. Personally, we should get an update in a couple 6-8 years. Find out. The show will be on then still.
Yeah, I think 3 more years. We should get an update whether or not he's going to go to college.
Yeah.
Let's check back.
Is he up now, Ryan? No, he's in bed.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, part of the whole thing was I felt the mom was a little bit. I love and I respect her, but I felt like she was a little bit too nice on him. Like, hey, this is your business. Like,
yeah, and hopefully there's more of that going on behind the camera than we saw. But I kind of got that vibe too. It's like, hey, Mom, I have an idea for a business. Okay, well, it's your business. We got the money now. I don't know how to run it. I'm in school. But wait, I agree with you.
So, any last thoughts on Ryan's ruffery?
He's doing well. Keep it up. Just interested to see the future.
I kind of want to try eating one, see what it tastes like.
Here's the good news. I think Barbara's the right partner because if they ultimately do say, like, hey, we had fun with it, hopefully Barbara's gotten her investment back.
Yeah, I think
and they could all walk away from this.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
all right.
My favorite.
Is it your favorite?
My favorite story.
Oh, okay. Plated.
Here's what I will say about this. I watched this, and it got me thinking. I remember hating them when we talked about it. I don't know why I hated them so much. Oh, they're doing really well. I like these guys. And then I went on their website, and horror stories came flooding back to me of why I hated them and why I went off on it. Were you part of the show back then?
No, I wasn't. That was season 5.
How long ago was it? 5?
Season 5. Yeah, I wasn't.
I just went off on a tirade. And can you guess why?
No.
Food was old.
Have you guys been on their website? Have you guys ever tried to order from their website?
I've never tried to order, but I've been on the website.
Okay, and what did you notice?
I don't know. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary
Is this very obvious?
specifically.
Then maybe it's not. And again, here's the thing. I will cop to the idea, because people have told me this, that I am not the right clientele for this, which is fine. But I do feel like, money's being left on the table. This to me is a great product. Let's say I'm planning a date and I want to cook in.
Sure.
Me, I don't make many plans in advance to that nature, because I just know everything, like work and other stuff will get in the way of that. So typically if I make plans 2 days in advance, that's a miracle. And if I can stick to them, even better. So for me, I would order it 2 days or the day of, but you can't. It's a 10-day waiting period. I don't want to pre-plan my meal 10 days in advance.
It's way too long. It's way too long.
Like I'm no longer interested in that. I wanted shrimp, but not 10 days from now.
Yeah, that's way too long.
So you're telling me if I ordered tomorrow, I can't get it for 10 days?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that's ridiculous.
We live, no offense, we live in an instant gratification era. If 2 days, okay, fine. I understand the need for that. But 10 days or what? Like, no.
No, I don't know if I'll be alive in 10 days.
Exactly. You just wasted $70 bucks that you could have spent something else.
I don't know how I'm getting home tonight. Traffic was bad. That's more of a concern than waiting 10 days for food to arrive. In 10 days, you could take a class that would teach you how to cook without using this product.
Take an online course.
Yeah.
Look, it's not even that. To me, the convenience is like, okay, not only is it a great meal that it comes kind of like, it teaches me how to
stay on the ball in terms of predicting where they're going to be at. And I know that, hey, there's some things don't always go as planned, obviously. But they've been seemingly having so many issues with
Here's the problem.
that.
You know what you need? They are good with the creative stuff and whatever. I think you got to take a look at, I don't know who their CEO and all the other people that I talked about, but if they are part of your team and they have led you down this path, and maybe they haven't and they've forewarned you, if they have, good, now start listening to them. If they haven't, fire them all.
Right.
And get new people. I'm sorry.
No, it's true.
You cannot look at that as a measurement of success. Like 23 moves?
No, yeah, I know.
No way. It can't continue.
God. No, but I think that's a good point, because to one end of what you were saying, you have to be able to identify the things that you are able to do and things you are good at, and let other people who are good at those things do the things that you're not good at doing.
Yeah.
Like, I have no skills when it comes to interior design. I am great at finding the place, but designing it, I have no idea how to do that. So I'm going to have somebody else do that, and then we'll work together, and it'll be happy, glory.
And you hear entrepreneurs, successful ones, say that all the time. When they take a step back and let someone else do something when they need them to. They don't get stubborn, big-headed, and try and take on all the load themselves.
Right.
Which maybe it's what these guys need to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. And that's honestly true success, is being able to motivate people and knowing people's skill sets so that the way they can work for you.
That's right. And I feel that you've done that here tonight, Phil.
Hopefully.
I've learned a lot, by the way. I'm going to go back and watch this and watch the opening segment when we got the 4 lessons.
I'm telling you. I wrote them down somewhere in here.
Recite them, and we'll end on that note.
Number 1, business. Number 2, money.
It's all about REVENUE.
Number 4,
what does that spell?
revenue.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Just kidding. All right, thank you guys for joining us. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Whether they plated, whether there any of the other things that we discussed here tonight?
I think we covered it.
All right.
I think we're good.
Next week, I believe, is the final episode that we'll all be doing for season 6 of Shark Tank, as well as Beyond the Tank.
By the way, big news. Picked up for season 7. Beyond the Tank already picked up for season 2. Boom.
The ratings are killing it. I just saw it.
How could they not?
Killing it.
I mean, honestly, this is the best. You want to get into business? This is a great business education,
and it's friendly for the family too.
It's motivating too.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, where can people talk to you offline, so to speak? David Guy or Guy David
happens all the time.
David, Guy.
Did you do that deliberately?
Well, no, we did last name first. Lewis Cameron, go.
At the only camshaft on Twitter and Instagram. David, Guy.
Guy and a girl show on Twitter. Don't have Instagram yet. Don't like taking photos, but thinking of getting it.
There you go. Convince him.
Good plug. Good plug.
All right. Follow us here at TV, AfterBuzz.
It's too complicated. At AfterBuzz TV.
At AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. We'll see you here for the next Shark Tank, along with hopefully Steph Z, but certainly these guys and myself. Bye.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.